Greetings, I'm Bairnt, and welcome to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. We're continuing our playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster. We're returning to our settlement after taking down the Butcher, and oh, what an amazing fight that was. I had so much fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Now, in the settlement phase, we're going to go through and take care of everything we need to, and then we're going to move into the hunt phase, and we're going to take care of everything we need to there, because that way we can get 2 videos done at the same time, and they're usually pretty short comparatively. Now, one thing we have to take care of is some of our characters were able to complete some milestones at the end of our combat, so we're going to take care of those before we actually do the settlement phase. Also, before we start, I want to talk about this. When we went to fight the Butcher in the last settlement phase, I had mentioned that it was a special showdown and that we're going to go do that and then return to the death count. That's not true. We were supposed to record and archive our resources and go to the end settlement phase, and then the Butcher was waiting for us outside our settlement. The special showdowns would actually happen in a different way than the actual Nemesis fights. So I just wanted people to be aware of that. We're actually going to be returning all the way up here, Survivor's Return. So that's where we're going to start our settlement phase. If you're excited to see what happens during our settlement and what we're going to hunt, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop. Now, the first thing we have to do is our age story event. I'm not going to read it. We've already done it. We're going to go ahead and give Caramon and Riverwind a chance to take on the age thing here. So they get to choose a weapon proficiency. Caramon already has axe. I'm going to give Riverwind, I think we're going to give him the bow because he has that catgut bow. So we're going to go ahead and give him bow as his weapon proficiency. I think that'll be pretty good. Now, of course, we have to roll on our table down here. So Caramon is going to roll first. Let's see what he gets. We got a 1. Gain 1 permanent. Oh, I'm supposed to roll 2 of them. I did that last time too. All right, I have to roll 2d10. So he got a 9. He gets a random fighting art. Way to go, Caramon. All right, now let's see what happens to Riverwind. I like the 1 better. Riverwind got a 9 as well, so he's also going to gain 1 random fighting art. So Caramon is going to go ahead and grab a random fighting art. Let's see what we're going to get. Go ahead and cut the deck, and Caramon gets Mighty Strike fighting art. On a perfect hit, gain +2 strength until the end of the attack. Wow, that's going to be really good for him because I think he's going to be using that Butcher's Cleaver if he stays insane. That's going to be awesome. So he gains Mighty Strike. All right, Riverwind also gets a fighting art. Let's see which one he gets. Now, of course, it told me to go ahead and archive it and put it back in here. So that's why I shuffled that card back into this deck. All right, Riverwind gains Ambidextrous. Oh, I failed on that word, sorry. All melee weapons in your gear grid gain paired. Ambidextrous cannot be used if there are any shields, two-handed, or heavy gear in your gear grid. Oh, that makes me sad because sadly his weapon proficiency is bow, which isn't really going to go with this. But maybe there's a way to change it sometime down the line. All right, we're going to record these onto our character sheets. So I've given Caramon his Mighty Strikes, and I've given Riverwind his Ambidextrous. Now, I also did a different thing here. I changed his to Fist and Tooth. I know I probably shouldn't have done that, even though I've already rolled on this table, but I totally forgot he had this. There'd be no reason not to take Fist and Tooth when you already have Monster Claw as a fighting art. You get +1 accuracy and strength and surge when you're fighting with your Fist and Tooth, so it only makes sense to do that as his weapon proficiency. Now that we've completed that, Riverwind also has to do his Courage story event, which is going to be bold. Now again, we've already read this many times, and his bold happened during the showdown phase. It was 1 hit before we actually killed the Butcher. So I've gone ahead and circled in his Stalwart so he can't be knocked down by Brain Trauma or Intimidate, which is going to be great. Now he does have to roll a D10, only 1 this time, on this table, and let's see what he gets. Now I'm going to pan out, otherwise this is going to roll him right down the book. So let's see what he gets. He got a 2. Let's zoom in and see what that is. Oh, nuts. He gained a +1 strength token. Well, that really didn't help. Okay, well, that's okay. He was able to at least get his stalwart, which is actually, I think, really, really good. So we're going to go ahead and go down our list here. Survivors return. We're going to heal all our survivors, and then we're also going to go on to gain endeavors. Now, sadly, only 3 of us made it back, so I'm going to gain 3 endeavors. I'm going to put them right here. Now, the interesting thing is because we have our Graves event here, our death principle, it says when a survivor dies during the hunt or showdown phase, gain 2 endeavors. So I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 more endeavors. We actually have 5 endeavors, but sadly we don't have a lot we can do with them because we don't have many resources. So we're going to go ahead and update our timeline. So let's take care of that next. Now, since we defeated the butcher in the last one, we're going to move down to number 5. We're entering Lantern Year 5. I'm going to grab a settlement event, and then we're going to have to take care of the Hands of Heat. That's going to be our next event. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our settlement event deck, and we're going to shuffle it up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take a settlement event, and we're going to see what happens to our wonderful survivors here in Solace. Hunt reenactment. Oh, we just had this one. Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I guess I didn't do a very good job shuffling. Nominate the group's favorite survivor to play the hunter. Nominate your least favorite survivor to play the monster. Pick 1 monster from the settlement list of defeated monsters. I think we're going to pick the butcher this time. All right. Let's see here. Oh, we have to pick the people and then we have to roll. That's right. All right. So our super awesome person, well, here we know who our... We always know who the bad one is. So Aeolus is going to come on in. He's going to be our monster. Way to go, Aeolus. And this time we're going to choose... Oh, does it have to be from the actual event? Do we have to be the ones that went on the hunt already? Nominate group's favorite survivor and play the hunter. Nominate... No, nope, they don't have to have been on the hunt. I was afraid they might have been on the last hunt. So Aeolus is going to be the monster, and I'm going to have Tanis. Tanis is going to be our hero or whatever, our survivor. All right, and now we have to roll the die and see what happens. This is so awesome. All right, we're going to roll the die and see what happens. Oh, we got a Lantern 10. All right, it says, is the monster a quarry monster? No, he was a nemesis monster. All right, it says, the fight reaches a fever pitch. The settlement hangs on every movement as the hunter ritualistically finishes the monster as the monster feigns death. The settlement cheers. Their champion, the hunter gains the last man standing fighting art. All right, way to go, Tanis. You gain the last man standing fighting art. And here it is, last man standing. It says, while you are the only survivor on the showdown board, you may not gain bleeding tokens or be knocked down. Wow, that's awesome. Even though I hope it never happens. I don't want to be the last one there. So we're going to go ahead and give him the last man standing. Wow, he actually got a pretty good fighting art. I'll take it. All right, he's got that. We're going to go ahead and record and archive. So we completed our settlement event. We were able to not kill Aeolus, and we gained an awesome fighting art. Now we're moving into Hands of Heat, and of course, like I've always said, this game is not for children. So just remember that as we're playing through it, because here is the picture for Hands of Heat. Wow, look at that. She's got some burning hands. Her hands are on fire. And it says story event, Hands of Heat, the mystery of the lantern's glow. So it tells us here, if the settlement already innovated lantern oven, skip this event and roll on the lantern branding table. Otherwise, proceed with Hand of Heat below. So we do not have lantern oven, so we're going to go below. One lucky day, a clumsy accident knocks a lantern free from the towering lantern horde. A sudden flash of heat bathes the survivor as the lantern crashes to the ground. Now shattered, the lantern light dies, but the seed of an idea begins to grow. Nominate a survivor, they gain +1 courage, and experiment with lanterns. Well, none of our characters are really near a courage milestone, so I'm just going to have Tanis do it again because you know what? This has been his wonderful settlement phase. So we're going to give him 1 courage, and we're going to go ahead and read the next thing, which is experiment with lanterns. So it says experiment with lanterns, roll a d10. So hopefully this d10 does not make us cry. We got a 2, that's usually pretty bad. Let's see what happens. Oh, number 2 says, disfigured. The survivor is exiled from the settlement as an inhuman monster. Oh no, Tanis, you're having such a wonderful settlement event. But now he is gone. Tanis is out of the settlement, unless we somehow find him in the hunt area somewhere. But I don't believe that's going to happen. So Tanis is no longer with us. Well, with the settlement events done, which were really bad, well, they're good and bad, but they all ended in bad anyway, we have to update our death count, and I believe it's going to go to 2 because we lost Tanis as well, so we're down 3 people. Though when we lost Tanis due to that event, I gain a survivor, or not a survivor, an endeavor, because of when a survivor dies during the settlement phase, gain 1 endeavor, so we're going to go put this with the rest of our endeavors. Next, we're going to go ahead, check milestones. We don't have any. We're going to develop ourselves. We don't have anything really to develop, but I think we have a lot of endeavors. We're going to see what we can do with those with our areas. Now, we don't have a lot of resources because we just fought the butcher. We do have 5 broken lanterns. I only pulled 1 card, but we do have 5 of them. And then we have all these innovations, but I don't think any of these are going to use any of our endeavors. I wish one of them would, but it doesn't look like they do. Not even Surge. I can't even use any of these. All right, so our innovations do not take any endeavors. So we got to find something that does. Well, it looks like the only thing that does is our organ grinder. We can attempt to Augury if we want to. Or we can use our lantern horde to do some shared experiences. Nominate a survivor that has 2 or more hunt XP than yourself. They decide describe illuminating details of their desired death. If you're not deaf, gain +1 hunt XP from their story. If the nominated survivor has shattered jaw, instead gain +1 insanity. So we could do that if we want. I think also we have something else we can do as well. Maybe on one of our other ones we can do something. I don't think we can. I think the other ones just build other things. Yeah, it looks like all they do is build things. So, all right, yep, it looks like the only things we can do is Augury, or we can share our experiences and nominate a survivor that has 2 or more hunt XP. So I could have Gabrielle, who has 4 hunt XP, talk to some of our guys that haven't actually been on too many hunts and start giving them some hunt XP. Like Raceland could gain a hunt XP, but I think we're going to try Augury first. I'm going to spend this endeavor. Let's look at it really quick. It says right here, Augury, roll a d10. The survivor endeavors to glean the meaning of existence. Roll on a table. Add +1 if your results of your understanding is 3 or higher. Well, it's not. So we're going to Augury. We're going to roll a d10. So I'm going to take a d10 and we're going to roll it. We're going to spend this endeavor. So let's go ahead and spend it. We got an 8. So if we look at it, it says 8+. Oh, we can do the intimacy story event. So let's take a look at that. And here's our intimacy story event. Oh, what a touching picture. It's one that actually kids can actually see. So there is a nice little picture of intimacy. And now we have our story event, Intimacy. Nominate 1 consenting male and 1 consenting female survivor and roll on the intimacy table below. So the 2 people I have chosen for this event are none of the people we've already made. I have nominated Kitiara and Sturm. Those are going to be the 2 people that are going to perform their intimacy story event. So we're going to go ahead and roll on a d10 right here on this and see what happens. We got a 9. Let's go ahead and see what that says. Oh, look at this. The settlement celebrates a twice fortunate event. A pair of healthy newborn survivors enter the world. The settlement gains 2 populations. The first time your settlement gives birth to a new survivor, gains +1 population from intimacy. The new survivor ponders existence. Principle new life. As your settlement grows in size, don't forget to apply your chosen new life principle. It will greatly affect the outcome of your campaign. So here's our story event, Principle New Life. The group must decide how to raise their young. Choose 1. We could choose Without Mercy. The toys are taken from the child and replaced with a cold stone-faced shard. Training begins immediately. The settlement gains the New Life principle, Survival of the Fittest. Find and replace the card on the settlement board and note it on the settlement record sheet. After adding the card, the settlement rolls a d10. And here is our Survival of the Fittest new principle card. And on the bottom, we gain +1 survival limit. And it says, when rolling on the intimacy story event, roll twice and pick the lowest result. All current newborn survivors gain +1 strength and +1 evasion. Once per lifetime, a survivor may re-roll a single roll result. They must keep the new result. Otherwise, we can raise them with affection. The settlement embraces the child with warm arms. Nurturing new life is their highest calling. The settlement gains the New Life principle, Protect the Young. Find and place the card in the settlement board and note on the settlement record sheet. After adding the card, the settlement rolls a d10. And here is our Protect the Young new principle. It says, the children are the future. When rolling on the intimacy story event, roll twice and pick 1 result. I believe this is the way to go. I am going to take Protect the Young as our principal, and we're going to go ahead and roll a d10 right here on the book. And we got a 5. It says, the settlement gathers around the newborn in awe. Never have they seen something so precious and meaningful. The parents each gain +2 survival and +1 permanent evasion. So we're going to go ahead and place our card right up here. We've got Protect the Young. I'm pretty excited about that. I think that'll be really good. Also, on our settlement record sheet, we have to check mark that we have completed the milestone, the first child. Now, I noticed something while I was looking at this. I failed to do this. I didn't realize this took place. I totally apologize. I missed this. Settlement has 5 innovations. We have to do the Hooded Knight. We're doing it 1 later than we should have, but I think it'll still be okay. So I'm going to check off Settlement has 5 innovations, and we're going to do the Hooded Knight as well. So I've gone ahead and created our 2 new survivors. Here's Takesis, and we also got Alana. Now, that's kind of ironic because it was Sturm and Kitiara who made kids. All right, so here's Sturm. He's got 3 survivals and 1 evasion. I created the 2 characters. Kitiara also has +3 survival and +1 evasion. She got 2 for that role, and then she gets 1 for when we name when you name your survivor. So I also got to make them male and female here. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And then that is where we are. We've completed that whole little area. Now I do want to do that Hooded Knight one. So here's the wonderful picture of our Hooded Knight event. I'm kind of regretting that we went back and did this because it doesn't look too good. And here it is, story event Hooded Knight. A stranger emerges from the darkness. If any survivor has the Twilight Sword, they duel the knight. Otherwise, his motives are inscrutable. Roll below on Mysterious Agenda. So we're going to go ahead and roll a d10 on the Mysterious Agenda. Oh, we got a 1. This is not going to be good. As quickly as he arrived, the Hooded Knight vanishes in a flash of steel and blood. Suffer -2 population. Oh my goodness. The Hooded Knight leaves with unfinished business and will return later. And here's unfinished business. It says add Hooded Knight to timeline 4 years from now. Oh my goodness. All right, that was absolutely horrible. So we're going to go ahead and take 2 more death count here, and I got to kill 2 more people. And I also have to add that Hooded Knight 4 years from now. Now, actually, it would have happened here. So I'm going to add it 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, right where there isn't anything. I'm going to put Hooded Knight again because we got to take that on again. I don't really want to. Well, I'm glad we had kids this time because we just lost 2 people. So I looked at all the characters we have, and I think it's time that we lose Aeolus, and I think we're also going to lose Raceland. The reason I'm doing that is both of them have the disorder dismembered arm, so I don't think he's going to be able to fight anyway too well. Not to mention this guy's also apathetic. He's got a destroyed Pegasus. So sadly, we're losing our punching bag, but that's okay. It was better him than losing somebody that's still at full strength. So I'm going to have to go ahead and write down what happened to these 2. I'll probably just say killed by the Hooded Knight in a flurry of steel. Now we still have 5 more endeavors. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use one of these endeavors to do a shared experience. Gabrielle has 5 hunt experience. So she's going to go ahead and use it. I actually think she's going to use a few of them. I think you can keep using it as many times as you want. It doesn't say that you can't. So I'm going to use it 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use it 4 times. And I'm going to have Sturm and Kitiara go ahead and grab 2 hunt XP each. And they're going to be able to gain their age milestone. And that's because Gabrielle has 4. So she has 2 more than them because they have 0. And then she has still 2 more than them because they only have 1. But now she can't do it anymore because she actually has the most hunt experience, I believe, in my group. And she can only get them up to 2. But that's okay. We're going to do 2 of these these age milestones. But I think we're also going to use our last innovation to go ahead and have Gold Moon Augury again. Let's see what she rolls. She's going to roll on the Augury table. She got a 6 this time. It just says gain +1 survival. So Gold Moon survival is going to go up to 2. So again, we've seen this many, many times. We're going to have our 2 characters go ahead and grab their weapon proficiencies. One of them is Grand Weapon. I'm going to have Sturm take that. I don't know if we're going to get one, but you never know. Grand Weapon, W-E-A-P-O-N, because I can almost spell. So he's going to take the Grand Weapon. Now Kitiara, she's going to take, I don't know what to give her. You know what? I'm going to let you guys decide what I should give Kitiara as a weapon proficiency. Oh, I can't because I have to roll down here and I might get the fighting art and that would make me choose what I'm going to take, so that's not very fair. All right, so I think she's going to take, I'm going to give her spear, but I don't know if she's ever going to really get one. Hopefully she does down the line. She's going to grab spear. He's going to grab grand weapon. So now I've got kind of a mixture of weapon proficiencies amongst my group. So if I ever get some of these cool weapons, I can give them to them and they can go on hunts together. All right, now we also have to roll on our event. And I have to roll 2d10. I have to remember this. So Sturm is going to roll first. Let's see what Sturm gets. Sturm got an 8. He gets a random fighting art. And Kitiara rolls a 10. She gains a random fighting art. So Sturm is going to go first. He's going to grab a random fighting art. We're just going to mix these up a little bit. And he is going to get this one right here. It is Combo Master. On a perfect hit, make one additional attack roll. Oh my gosh, if he can actually get a grand weapon, that's going to be awesome. All right, so Sturm's got Combo Master. We're going to go ahead and put that back in the deck. And Kitiara is now going to make a fighting art. Let's see what she gets as a fighting art. We're going to mix it up a little bit. And she's going to gain extra sense. You may dodge one additional time per round. Wow, that's great. All these are awesome. All right, so that is going to be Kitiara's fighting art. Oh, that's amazing. I believe that's all the developing we can do. We're going to go ahead and prepare our departing survivors. So we're going to go ahead and figure out who we're going to take. We're then going to record our resources. We don't really have any. And then we're going to end the settlement phase. We're going to have to go ahead and pick what we're going to fight. So since we've been fighting that white lion for so long, we are going to move into the screaming antelope. We're going to go ahead and take on a screaming antelope, and we're going to figure out what survivors are going to come with us. So our first survivor that's coming with us is going to be Caramon. He's got a lot of stuff going on here. He's very similar to what he was last time. The only difference really, I think, is that he's got his butcher's cleaver this time. And I've gone ahead and given him all his armor over here. I've healed him to full. He has 5 survival. Our characters, of course, are gaining +2 survival whenever they leave because of these 2 innovations. Departing survivors gain +1 survival. Departing survivors gain +1 survival. Ammonia and Hovel. So he had 4, but our max is 5 on our civilization. So he can only get up to 5. Now, when he gets to the actual event, he's going to gain +1 insanity. I thought about giving this to somebody else, but he needs to be insane in order to use this butcher's cleaver. So if he ever drops below 3, he's not going to be insane anymore. So I wanted to make sure that I'm going to keep on giving him insanity. Next is going to be Gold Moon, and again, she's going to go in with that Bone Dagger. And she also has Bone Darts, and I'm going to try not to forget them this time, because I did last time. Now, she has her White Lion boots. I give her +1 movement because I've linked these things. She has nothing else going on that's too exciting other than that. She does have all her stuff over here. She's fully healed. Now, she has 4 survival. She ended with 2, and she actually gains 2 from the ammonia and the hovel. Now, I didn't give her any stone noses because she already has 4 insanity. She's doing just fine, and with 4 survival, I think we're going to be okay. Next, we have Riverwind. He's going to be joining the party. He's going in with no weapons. That's right. He's not going to take a weapon with him. He's going to go ahead with that fist and tooth. He's going to go in there and gnaw on the antelope. That's his plan. Now, I've gone ahead and given him all his defense over here. He's gotten 3 survival. 1 because of his boots, and 2 because of those innovations. Now he doesn't, I sadly can't remember how much insanity he had. I don't think he had any at the end of the fight. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure to give him the insanity he's supposed to have. But I don't think he has any right off the bat. So we are going to give him those stone noses so he can gain a survival and an insanity. But it is kind of good that he's not insane. Again, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. And last, we have Kitiara. She's going to join the fight. That's right. And she's got her super extra sense, so she's going to be able to dodge a lot. But she's got an absolute mess of junk that doesn't make any sense. So we're going to go ahead and give her the armor she has, and she's going to gain up to 5 survival due to the fact that we have those 2 innovations going along with us here. Now, we do have the stone noses, so she'll be able to gain an insanity as we get to the fight. But other than that, she's just carrying a whole plethora of junk. Just everything else I don't know what to do with. She's going to be able to stop any moods that happen potentially. She can shoot from range. If she has to get up close, she can actually hit him with the bone blade. Of course, her weapon efficiency is spear, so none of this is going to actually help her at all. But the cat eye circle is always a good thing to have. Now, I did give her the 2 hunt experience from doing the stuff during the settlement phase. If that's wrong and I can only use it once per time, please let me know. But I don't think you can. I think you can use it as many times as you want. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But that's Kitiara, and that's the end of our group. We're all set to go on this hunt. So after completing the settlement event, we're going to move into our hunt event, and we're going to go ahead and take on our screaming antelope. Here he is in all his glory with his raging red eyes. and his horns of death. And also he's got that maw underneath him that he's going to try to devour us with. So that is going to be our screaming antelope. And we're going to look at his showdown in the actual book to see how to set up our hunt board. So here's a magnificent view of the screaming antelope. And here's our survivors that are probably going to be screaming from him after the fight is over. So it says here, there was once a fearsome monster that was trained by the hand to be a steed of the goblin. However, upon smelling its new master, the monster's mind shattered, and it ran into the unknown, foaming at the mouth and biting the noses off the stone-faced floor. So here's a picture of our hunt board. Now we're going to be fighting, of course, the level 1 antelope. I'm not going anywhere up there. Now these two E's is where we're going to have to put our hunt-specific events for the screaming antelope. And these are going to be empty ones, just random basic hunt events. So each quarry gets its own hunt event deck. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle ours up. We're going to put a couple of the cards out. Now the other spaces are going to be taken up by these hunt events. These are just the random hunt events that come with the game. We're going to put one here, here, and here. Now every one of those is exactly the same. They're all these random hunt events. But as the game progresses, we might be doing something or adding to those hunt events. I don't know. So we've got all of our events out there. Now it's going to be our survivor's turn. We're going to have to choose where to go and figure out what to do. Now sadly, it's getting a little hard to discern exactly who everybody is. This is still Gold Moon. She's got her white lion stuff. Now this is going to be Kitty Yara, even though she's got some stuff that isn't actually there. And this is going to be, okay, actually I got a plan here. We're going to remove this guy's arm and replace it with this axe. So this is going to be Caramon, and we're going to represent that by him carrying that axe. The other one's going to be over here. That's going to be Riverwind. Even though he doesn't have the bow anymore, at least we kind of know who, oh, I got a plan. This is going to be really, this is going to look really terrible. Since Kitty Yara has the bow, we're going to switch this up. I know those arms aren't even close to what they're supposed to be, but at least we've got some of their armor and stuff in the right spot. I think it might be the last time we use these guys. I'm going to make up some new guys for the next one to represent the gear we have. Now, I think our first person is going to be Kitty Yara. She's going to move up and grab this hunt event. And what happens to her? It says Dead Antelope, Screaming Antelope Hunt Event. The survivors are struck by the scent of rotting meat wafting from a hulking corpse ahead. The event revealer may lead the survivors to investigate. If they do, grab one random vermin resource and 2 random screaming antelope resources. Oh, that's amazing. And roll a d10 on a result of 7, plus the survivors are startled by the arrival of the antelope's killer, a white lion. Oh, wow, okay. At the end the hunt now. Start a showdown with a white lion 1 level higher than the quarry or the highest level available using the setup rules. Add a dead monster train card to the showdown. You don't investigate, roll a random hunt event. Oh my goodness, this is, oh, what do I do? This is a major risk reward event here. I can gain 3 things, but I have a chance of fighting a level 2 white lion. I know that doesn't sound too bad, but I don't think our characters could defeat a level 2 white lion. I think he gets like +1 strength, +1 accuracy. I think he gets +1 about everything, and our guys would be +1 dead. Or do we go ahead and do this and hope we don't roll the 7+? Oh, that's a really tough choice. What would you do? Leave it in the comments below. Would you go after the spoils of this dead antelope, or would you just leave it where it is? Well, I'm going to trust my survivors, and we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to grab a random vermin resource. Let's see which one we get. We got a crab spider. Consume, archive this, and gain 3 survivor. All right, so we got that one. Now let's see what else we get from our, look at this deck of resources from this antelope. We should probably fight him a ton. Look at all the resources he's got. All right, we're going to mix this up a lot. We're going to see what we get. Let's take the top 2 here. We've got a large flat tooth. When you gain this, a survivor of your choice gains 1 insanity. All right, that'll be awesome. We gain a shank bone as well. All right, so we got these 2, and we've also got our spider. Now we have to roll a die, and if we get a 7 or better, we're in big trouble. Oh, we got a 2. All right, whew, we don't have to worry about this. All right, we got lucky. I really don't think, I think a level 2 white lion would have slaughtered our group. We were able to complete this. We're going to move up here, and we're going to go ahead and gain these resources. We're going to give these, of course, to Kitty Yara. Now I get to give a insanity to a survivor of my choice. I am going to choose Caramon only because he has the Butcher's Cleaver, and I need him to be insane in order to use that Butcher's Cleaver. So he's going to go from 3 to 4 insanity. That's just fine. He can have as much insanity as he wants. That's totally fine. As long as you're above 3, that means you're insane. Otherwise, you're just going to not be insane. All right. Next person to go, we're going to let it be, we'll have Riverwind go next. Riverwind's just going to take a random hunt event. So we're going to roll a dice and see what we get. So we're going to roll it up. White one's going to be our 10s die and the black one's our 1s die. We got a 0, 1. Oh, wow. Usually the lower you roll, the worse it is. And a 0, 1 can't be any good at all. So hunt event 1 says broken lanterns. The survivors feel something crunching beneath their feet. The event revealer may choose to lower their lantern and investigate, or ignore the sensation and continue their journey. If they choose to investigate, the event revealer gains 1 courage and rolls a d10. Otherwise, roll again on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt event board. Well, I think we might as well investigate to get our courage. Otherwise, we're going to have to roll again on the hunt event table. Okay, so we're going to gain a courage for Riverwind, and then we're going to roll a d10. So Riverwind is going to gain 1 courage, and then we're going to have to roll to see what happens. He got a 3. All right, we're going to go consult our table. And rolling a 3, it says, you fumble and cut your foot on a jagged shard. Suffer monster level event damage to your legs. Great. So Riverwind is going to, of course, lose his armor to his legs. Hopefully he doesn't get bit by the antelope there. So we're going to go ahead and move all our characters up. Now, before we go on to the next one, I do want to talk about the dice one last time. Some people believe that the number I rolled is actually an 11, and other people believe that it's a 1. However you decide to roll and read these dice is your choice, just as long as you're always making sure that you're keeping up with the same way of doing it. That's all that matters. Being consistent is the only thing that matters. It's how you read the dice is your own way of doing it. We're going to move into the next one. We're going to have, now I think it's going to be Gold Moon. Gold Moon is going to take a look at this hunt event right here and see what she finds. Devoured grounds. The stone-faced ground is littered with the leavings of ravenous passing beasts. Half-eaten acanthus plants are strewn everywhere. If any survivor has 3 understanding, the survivors may skip the next hunt space. Otherwise, roll a random hunt event. Oh, nobody has 3 understanding yet. Well, we have absolutely, we're the most ununderstanding group I've ever seen. We don't have anything. So I'm going to have to do the roll a random hunt event. So we're going to take our 2 dice and see what we get. We got a 69. Let's see what that does. It says time lapse. The glow of the survivor's lantern blurs, forming trails of light behind them. If the settlement has fought a phoenix, the group recognizes the phenomenon. All survivors gain +1 understanding. That didn't happen. We have not fought a phoenix yet. The event reveal rolls a d10 on the table below. If any survivor has the hour's ring, they may instead select a die result. We don't have that either. So we're at the mercy of a table. So here we are at the mercy of a table. And we got a 10, a lantern year 10. All right, let's see what that says. It says 10. The survivors are suddenly standing by their quarry. Start the showdown immediately. Well, that's kind of ironic. Mainly because once this was over, we'd be moving into the square anyway. But that would be a great event if you had a quarry way down there and you didn't want to deal with any of these hunt events. That'd be an awesome one to roll. Well, we're all here and we're about to fight a screaming antelope. Oh, it's going to be awesome. All right. So we're going to set up the showdown in the next video because I want to make sure we show the showdown and we also show the main attacks at the same time. All right, I'm throwing all my guys all over the place. This has been our hunt and settlement video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited to go ahead and finally take on this screaming antelope. I painted him all up. He's ready to go. He looks really awesome. I'm pretty excited by him. All right, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, the bell symbol, and also subscribe. And if you hit the bell symbol, you'll know when that video comes out that I am doing the fight against the antelope. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. Would you have braved this? Or do you think I was a little nuts for trying to actually take on those actual resources? Again, thank you so much for watching. If you think we can take down this screaming antelope, or if you think we're going to die trying, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.